Hello there. Well, wouldn't you believe it? Let's have a little chat about what it means to be a coach, right? And the problem with the fighters today compared to the fighters of the good old days, so to speak. This is brought about following the Fury-Usyk fight and all the people in the corner giving advice and all the people that are getting involved with boxers today. So let's have a look at the sort of people they have on hand. They have a dietitian, they have a fitness coach, they have a strength and conditioning coach, they have a sports psychologist, a mind coach. They've got all the corner men giving them advice. They've got their advisors, their hangers-on. They've got the pad holder, who's supposed to be a boxing coach. They've got the trainer, who's supposed to be a boxing coach. All of those people in place. The manager, the promoter, so on and so forth, and all the people giving them advice. There's one thing they're missing though. Just one more coach they're missing. A bloody boxing coach. One who's going to teach them the skills required to be the best possible boxer they can possibly be. All that other stuff is a load of old cobblers. It's a load of bollocks. Dietitian. If you really need to know what you should be eating, get hold of somebody who knows what they're doing. Get a meal plan for a week, stick to it. If you put on weight, cut some food out. If your weight stays the same, tremendous. If you start to lose weight, if that's what you need to do, keep going with it. It ain't hard, is it? The hardest battle you have is walking past the kitchen. So that's that bit out of the way. Fitness, what do you need a fitness coach for? If you're training properly, if you've got a proper boxing coach, the training that you're doing as a boxer will get you fit. It will get you so fit you cannot believe it. Strength and conditioning. Why do you need a strength and conditioning coach? I've seen boxers doing deadlift. I've seen them doing bench press, all that sort of stuff. Why? They say, oh, it gets me a bit stronger, it helps me in a fight. No, it doesn't. It's all up here. You should be doing sport-specific exercises. Now, another thing, if you're going to be doing exercises for strength, proper exercises, proper push-ups, dips, chins, squats, etc. Body weight exercises. There's not many people down a gym lifting their own body weight, is there? If you get used to doing that, you get strong as you like and you're building functional strength for your sport. That being punching people in the body and head as hard and as fast as you can, i.e. boxing. All that other stuff, you don't need it. I see people jumping around on tyres. What the hell's that all about? Oh, it builds a bit of balance. Does it, folk? It gets you good at jumping around on a tyre. If you want to get balance, things like that, move around in your shadows. Get used to dancing around the ring. Understand where your balance is through correct drilling. Then you will be balanced. Drill all of your punches and your defences, all of your movements properly. Then you'll understand about balance. All of that stuff does my head in. You don't need it. Next one. These pad holders, I've said it before, the vast majority of pads out there is total bullshit. All of this sort of stuff and hitting the punch as it comes in. Only the other day I was chatting to a boxer whose hands are now messed up from, you guessed it, the personal trainer who became a pad holder, who became the boxing coach, who was doing all this bang, bang, bang and smashing into his hands when every time he threw a punch. Now his hands are mashed halfway through a career. He puts it down to that. Well, more fool him for not understanding it years ago and not listening to me when I told him about it about 5 years ago. Stop doing stupid bullshit pads. Does my head in again. So, the dietitian, get rid. Strength and conditioning coach, get rid. Right? The fitness coach, get rid. Sports psychologist, okay. They cut that. Now, don't get me wrong, Steve Collins, allegedly, although it was all a trick, got you back with it, didn't he? But there you go, that was years ago. Now, getting your mind right is one of the hardest things going. But I'll guarantee you, if you train right, sleep right, eat right, your mind's probably going to be right. Because you can't do all of those things unless your mind is right. And that comes from discipline and doing what you should be doing every single day and not relying on others and all that sort of stuff. If your diet is you've got to eat a steak, blah, 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 whatever, twice a day, cook it yourself. Or are you that important, right? All of this training time that you're doing with this ridiculous fitness coach, sports coach, these coaches, that coach, the other coach, anything that isn't boxing training is a load of bollocks. It's an absolute waste of time. You are a boxer or kickboxer or Thai boxer or karate guy, whatever. All the other training is superfluous, isn't it? Apart from you running. Everything else should be sport specific, good old school stuff. Get your running done, get your skipping done, get your shadows done properly, forget the pad work, get your heavy bag work done, get your proper drills done, because drills build the skills and skills pay the bills, and get your proper situational sparring, all different types of sparring done, and when it's time for open and hard sparring, you do that. But your drill should be within your sparring as well. Then you don't need all these other guys. You need a proper boxing coach. You need to be learning every time you go to class. Most of these top guys, they're surrounded by yes men. Oh, you're doing great. Oh, you hit the pad so hard. You're the best ever. You should have somebody there who's teaching you, learning new skills. I saw one the other day, well-known boxer, great champion, blah, 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 Sean Porter, saying he used to struggle with people grabbing hold of him, and Freddie Roach showed him a way out. How can you be a professional at world level and not know how to get out when somebody grabs hold of you in the boxing match? Your previous coaches should have known that. You should have figured it out. You should have been asking your coaches. Why does it take you go to somebody like Freddie Roach and then he'll tell you how to get out of it? It's mind-boggling. Is the level of coaches that poor that they can't spot something like that or explain it? And are the boxers that dim that they can't say to their trainer, how do I get out of that? What happens if? What if? What if? Do people just turn up? That's because they've got a pad guy who always says yes, strength and conditioning coach who goes, oh, you're getting ever so much stronger, blah, blah. Listen, if you can't measure it properly, you don't know if you're improving. Case in point with Sean Porter and all that other stuff, blah, blah. He could measure it. He couldn't get out. He didn't know how to get out of it. Got told what to do, could get out of it. It's measurable. Think of it like this. Let's go to weight training, right? Somebody wants to be the best at bench press in the world. They just go down the gym. They start doing bench press. They started 2 years ago. You say to them today, how much do you bench? Don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I don't know, I just bench press. Well, how much did you do when you started? Don't know. Have you got any better? Well, I feel a bit stronger. Well, how do you know if you are stronger? See what I mean? And that is what's happening with boxing. You don't know if your skills getting any better until you get in the ring, but you don't know if the other guy's skills were just as bad as yours anyway. Nothing's measurable. Nothing's being done correctly, professionally. The weight training guy, example, walks in the gym, he can bench press, let's say just called 60 kilos. After a couple of years, he can bench press 105 kilos. It's measurable. There's a definite improvement, provable. If a weights guy comes up to you and says, I can bench 280 pounds, you say, go on then. And if he can, he can. And if he can't, he can't. It's that simple. With boxing, where there's so many things that people say are difficult to measure, people get away with all sorts, just by these supposed coaches, pad holders, that's all they are, get away with it. Because they're not coaching, they're not teaching. They're just going, oh, you fucking hell, you were great on the, oh, you were brilliant on the pads today. Best of it, oh, you were amazing. It's not measurable, is it? I can take pads like that and I can make an average person look really good on the pads, but it's bullshit. I could also take somebody who's really good and make them look pretty average on the pads, because it's bullshit doing it like that. All that stuff is total bullshit. All them pad holders who pretend to be coaches, it's bullshit. A coach is a teacher. You've got to understand your subject at a very, very deep level. You've got to understand every aspect of it and be continuously learning, continuously evolving, and continuously learning new ways to put the information across in a way that different people can understand it. You've got to be able to take those same principles of body mechanics, dynamics and physics and help apply them to different body shapes, sizes and people's way they prefer to fight. Some people like going forward, some people like fighting back, some people like fighting tall, some people like fighting small. Some people like hooks, some people like straight punches. You've got to be able to take all of those different things, those different personalities, everything else, and structure your training towards that. Or you're a pad holder who goes, oh, you're doing great, you're brilliant. Go and see the strength and conditioning guy now, it's time to do some weight training. Oh, then go to the track for the fitness guy, he's going to do some sprints with you. Fuck off, right? Do it all properly. You only need one trainer, you only need one manager, one promoter, and that's it, and lots of people to train with. Anyway, there you go. That's my stuff, that's my rant over and done with. See you later.